Hey folks, it's Grant over at Local Cooling Farms. It has been 7 days since we started the soft pod and the Kcup compostable little experiment trial here. And I just wanted to show you guys the progress of where we're at. So these are the soft pods, and you can see that the worms really went through a lot of that bedding that we had put down on top. They pretty much, that's what all this stuff is. It's they've turned into castings. And so I can already tell that they've gone into the soft pods and started eating up all the coffee on the inside. So like over here, there's really nothing left of that soft pod whatsoever. We've got some, the soft pod material is completely fallen apart. And then a lot of this has been turned into castings. There's a worm in there inside the soft pod, so that's good. So they pretty much went in and completely demolished the soft pods. So that's really cool. Okay, and then we've got the packaging that the soft pods came in. So that stuff is still intact. Not a lot of signs of decomp on it. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But the soft pods themselves are completely been taken out. They're almost completely gone. So that's a great sign. And this is just castings along the rim. You can see all the worm activity here. So we do have a lot of really good stuff going on. So probably what we're going to do is put more bedding on top of these the packaging that the soft pods came in to see how much longer it takes for these things to actually break down. Then we're going to check out the Kcups. So we've got good activity here. We've got worms on top of one of the Kcups going, and the worms are actually going in and out of the hole that was made by the coffee machine to inject the hot water in there. I'm really curious to see. So okay, that liner is starting to fall apart. So that is noticeably brittle for sure. So that's been a big change. Yeah, that stuff is falling apart. So that's cool. And the worms were able to get inside of the Kcup to actually start breaking it down. You can see some worms in there. Let's see if I can squeeze some of this stuff out. Yeah, so there's worms inside of the Kcup right now. So that's cool. That's one thing that we were looking for, because they're going in, they're eating all that coffee that's in there. So that's cool. And then upon squeezing the Kcup, you can see how this is starting to break up here. And so that's a really good sign. That's something that we were looking for to see how long it's going to take for this material to start breaking down. You can see the cracks in it and everything. So that's a really good sign, because that's where, fungi and bacteria and all that kind of stuff, they're going to start accessing, the inside of that material and start breaking that stuff down. So that's a pretty good sign. Let's see what this Kcup looks like before I actually start squeezing it. So there's that fracture right there. So that's a good indicator that the material is starting to break down right there. So that's something that we wanted to see. And I'll go ahead and give this a little squeeze. Yeah, you see how it cracked right there? That's also what we were looking for. So we're only 7 days in. So that's actually pretty good that this material is breaking up in the 7 days, because it hasn't been exposed to any high temperature. It's just been exposed to the worms and then biology in there. So I'm pretty happy with this Kcup. That's looking really good. And so I'm gonna look at one more. This one's been sitting upright the whole time. It's been exposed. This top part's been kind of like hanging out in the air, not exposed directly to the compost. So we got a little worm right there doing this thing. The bottom has been in touch with the compost the whole time, and so that collapsed fairly easily that's also starting to fracture and show those signs of decomp. So yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. That's pretty cool for a hard, compostable material in a non high temp scenario to actually start breaking down. And so yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna dump this one out for fun. Oh, that one cracked pretty easily too. I can feel that. I can feel the brittleness. And let's take a look at the inside of this thing. So it looks like the inside of the K-Cup has that liner in it, and that makes sense. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. Well, that's where we're at after 7 days. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put more bedding on top of both of these piles, and then we're just gonna check it in like another 4 or 5 days and just see what happens. All right, we're gonna go ahead and cover the remaining material with bedding to mimic a backyard, compost pile kind of scenario. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and spread this guy out, cover that up. The worms are gonna go right into that. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put our little lid on there to keep the moisture in, keep the light off of it. And then we're gonna go ahead and mound the material on top of the K-Cups. For round 2. And then we're gonna check this. So it's been 7 days now, and then we're gonna check this. I'm gonna come in and peek at it in probably about 3 to 5 more days, maybe 7 days, depending on what's going on. And then we'll update y'all soon.